Hey, you, I need you to hit the subscribe button below.
Teach you to turn that thing up.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Most High Christ bless. You are tuned in to the
Natives Hour, home of the 10 tribes.
I'm cutting the guy to my left,
Soldier has to die.
to my right,
Soldier Gadiel.
and all praises. We got some good articles and topics to bring out today. All right, let's jump right into it. Let's get what we got. What we got going on. Let's go. Let's do it. Come on. Let's get it in. I think this first one is what about? You say Native American boarding school?
Yeah, this is about the Indian boarding schools.
And you know what's crazy? We brought out a few weeks ago about the boarding schools in Canada. But right here in America had many hundreds of boarding schools. Hundreds of boarding schools. And we're going to bring that thing out. We're going to bring it out. Go ahead. Bring it out. Okay, there we go. They said these boarding schools were put up for the purpose of eradicating Native American history, right? What does eradicate mean? Can we look that up? Let's look that up. Let's look up the word eradicate. Let's look that up. Because that goes with Psalms 83. Let's read that real quick while IT team getting their stuff together. Let's read that. Psalms 83. Go ahead.
You want verse 1?
Yep.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God.
Go ahead.
For lo, thine enemies.
Thine enemies. God has enemies, y'all. God has enemies. Read.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Go ahead.
And they that hate thee.
They that hate God, read.
Have lifted up the head.
Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel.
That crafty counsel. You got to understand that when bills and laws are made, they had to come and they had to talk about it, counsel it, put it on the table, agree to it, change things. And all of these were unbeknownst to the so-called Native American Indians. Was unbeknownst to everybody. That's that crafty counsel. Read on.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Against God's people, who are the Israelites, the so-called Native American Indians, the so-called Hispanics. Y'all are God's people. Y'all are the Israelites.
That's right.
Read on.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Thy hidden ones. Read on.
They have said, come, let us cut them off.
Cut them off is the same thing as saying eradicate. Same thing as saying as kill the Indian, save the man.
Isn't that genocide?
That's genocide.
That's genocide.
That's exactly what it is. Cut them off. Read on.
From being a nation.
From being Israel. Because they'll allow you to be Native American. They won't allow you to be Israel. They'll allow you to be black. They'll allow you to be African American. They allow you to be Hispanic. They allow you to be Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban. They allow you to be all those things. So when it says cut them off from being a nation, it's not talking about the nation name that they gave you. It's talking about cutting you off from being the name that God gave you, which is Israel. Read on.
That the name of Israel.
See that? That the name of Israel, which is your nation, that nation which they wants to cut off. So the name of Israel, read.
May be no more in remembrance.
And they have done that. How? Boarding schools. Native American boarding schools. That name of Israel, you don't remember anymore. Are we ready? All right, let's roll. Yep, good job. Eradicate. Go ahead and read that.
Eradicate. Verb. Destroy completely.
To destroy Didn't we just read that in Psalms 83?
That's right.
We just read that. To destroy completely, destroy your heritage, destroy your name, destroy your language, destroy the way you ate, the way you dressed, your marriage traditions, to destroy everything. Go ahead.
Put an end to.
Put an end to. One synonym is exterminate.
That's crazy because Officer Uriel brought it out a few weeks ago.
did, exactly.
Exterminate is what you use on vermin, is what you
Right.
use on mice
Right.
and bugs.
Cockroaches, right?
Damn!
Right, roaches. You call the exterminator. Termites, exterminator. Bed bugs, exterminator. So they wanted to exterminate the 12 tribes of Israel. And they still want to exterminate the 12 tribes of Israel today, which you so-called Hispanics and Native American Indians. All right, let's go to the video.
The hell is this?
Let's go to the video. And start it from the beginning, please. Look like the building on fire. Start from the beginning.
That biblical smoke.
Biblical smoke. You don't know nothing about biblical smoke. Let's go.
These are the ruins of an old Native American boarding school on the Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota. Until the 1970s, more than 350 such schools were set up with the explicit goal of eradicating Native American culture.
Erase and replace. Erase language, replace with English. Erase spirituality,
now the Edomite
religion,
lady said,
replace with
the
Christianity.
Edomite lady said, erase and replace. Erase and replace. So everything, you understand what that means? It means every single cell of our thoughts were given to us from what was erased. Everything, our tradition was erased. So that means the tradition we're doing today is the replacement. The names we have today is the replacement. The ideologies, the ideas, the religion we have today is the replacement from the white man erasing it in the first place. Damn! Come on, y'all. Come on. Hey, come on. Hey, y'all gotta stay with me now. Come on now. Go ahead. Go ahead and go back to the video, man. Come on, Omar.
1900, more than half of all Native children lived in the strictly regimented institutions.
Corporal punishment, physical punishment, malnutrition. Certainly we know sexual abuse. They were hellish institutions by any definition of the term.
No one is sure how many children died in the system. Recently, the remains of 9 Lakota children who died at a school more than a century ago were returned for burial on their native land.
The boarding school system not only did harm to the children who were caught up in it,
Hey,
it also
can you go
severely
back
damaged Native
like
American
15
society
seconds?
with effects.
Go back like 15 seconds.
For burial on their
Go back.
more
Go back. Right there.
than children died in the
Go back.
system.
Go back. Right there.
They were hellish institutions by any definition of the term.
No one is sure how many children died in the system.
Lies.
Recently, the remains of 9 Lakota children who died at a school more than a century ago were returned for burial on their native land.
Stop. 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 So they said 9 Lakota children died in these border schools over what, a century ago?
Damn!
That is bull crap. I'm telling you right now. That's bull crap. It was way more children died than 9, and they know exactly how many died because they had to have records.
That's right.
That a person, yeah. Come on, Ricky.
Exactly. So you're going to tell me a child died in a school,
Right.
and they don't take accountability or numbering of them at all?
Right.
Sounds
It's all
interesting,
bullcrap. They had to know how many they abducted, because that's what they was
Exactly.
doing. They was abducting children for their mothers and fathers. They had to document that stuff. They had documentation.
Exactly.
I think when it says 9, that's just 9 whole bodies that they
Right.
recovered. Because then
true.
the thing that said they mutilated them, they tortured them. Esau
Right.
is wicked.
Hey, that's true. Hey, that's a heavy point. 9 whole bodies. So I mean, they probably found a leg here, an arm there, a brain here,
Baby skulls.
baby
scattered
skulls, right? And they didn't have a full body. Hey, that's a good point. That's a good point. Go back to the video.
The boarding school system not only did harm to the children who were caught up in it, it also severely damaged Native American societies with effects that have been felt generation after generation.
Native American youth commit suicide 2.5 times more than the general population. The rate of alcohol and drug abuse among Native Americans is higher than for any other group. They have lower life expectancy. There are many reasons for these problems, but boarding schools played a role.
Stop. So, I mean, why this ain't being spoke about in the news about America? That the reason why a lot of our Native American, so-called Native American, who God calls you Gad or Reuben or even Hispanic, or Judah. See, hey, you Judites out there, I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all want the Native American hair. Hey, in the world, I always say, oh, you got good hair. I got Indian in my family. But then you come to the truth, and don't nobody want to be Gad. Everybody want to be Judah. Everybody want to be Judah.
It's funny you say that, Cap, because growing up, they taught us that wasn't no more Native Americans.
What about Native Americans, right?
That they were either were wiped out by the Pilgrims,
right,
or that your grandmama was Cherokee.
And they taught you this, right?
Exactly.
They taught you this.
Right, and they believed it. And they still believe it today, even in the truth. Ain't that something? Brother, y'all ain't no wrong being Gad, man.
I'm Judah until Christ tell me otherwise. But
okay. You Judah till Christ tell you otherwise. All right, all praises. All praises. Gonna be a lot of Gadites I'm telling you, a lot of Gadites be thinking they damn Judah.
We gonna walk through the gate proudly like all praises.
Yep. But y'all gonna go to Judah gate first. That angel gonna say, oh no. Take your ass down to the 6 gates down that way.
Damn!
6 gates down to the right. Go ahead, man. Go back to the video.
Recently, U.S. Interior Secretary Deb Haaland, herself a Native American, announced an official investigation into the boarding school program.
To promote spiritual and emotional healing in our communities, we must shed light on the unspoken traumas of the past, no matter how hard it will be.
Chichangu Oyate Lakota member Lynn Colomb says her own mother never had a chance to learn parenting skills during her youth in a boarding school.
Hey, stop right there. Stop right there. So notice how it said they never had a chance to parent their own children. We're going to bring something out real quick. We're going to grab this book. We're going to grab this book that's called Atlas go and read that right there.
Atlas of Indian Nations by Anton.
Hold up. We're going to put them on the screen so everybody can.
We want everybody to see this right here.
Yeah.
Because remember,
yeah, they got it.
We brought out in the Bible. It says they took crafty counsel.
Right.
Means they sat down and they thought about this.
Right.
They thought about this and said, you know what? We're gonna make sure this happens. We're gonna do this systematically.
And you know what? They didn't just think about it for their time. They thought about it for their great grandchildren's time.
Exactly.
They said, I'm gonna make sure that my seed rules over these savages for eternity.
That what it said in the scriptures, that every thought of
it's
them
deep.
They
deep, man. They think generationally. Negroes think yearly, or sometimes monthly.
We think paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
That's right.
Esau, the white man, thinks generationally. They think hundreds and hundreds of years in advance, thousands of years in advance. When the white man came over here and conquered and took over the land that the Lord gave to the so-called Native American Indians, they knew that this land will continue in white power. They knew that.
That reminds me of like gentrification. When it comes to gentrification, they do that like 30 years in advance.
They plan it out, right?
Yeah, they set up where they want so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to move to, make the crime rate there very bad, and then when it's time to execute their plan, they start setting up bike lanes and Starbucks.
Right, bike lanes. Hey, bike lanes and Starbucks and what's them things you can pay? The mobile scooters?
Yeah, the Razor scooters.
Yeah, the Razor scooters where you can pay for it. and driving around the damn hood. You see Edomites going through the damn hood. Hey, we got kept yesterday, and I'm surprised to see so many white people go through that hood with just no worries at all. When the spot we was at last night was a big gang spot. I'm like, damn, there's a lot of white people out here. A lot of white people are just strolling through the neighborhood with their bikes. I'm like, dang, they are safe.
The messed up part is while we're over here trying to tell our people not to gangbang, there's an Edomite who lives but like 3 blocks down. And the night of, he walks up to us like, hey, y'all better cut it out. I'm calling the cops. I'm trying to rest and get some peace. Yeah, what?
Crazy, man. Go ahead, go back. Oh, no, you got the, yeah, go to Bill.
Atlas of Indian Nations by Anton Truer. Next. Page 264.
Now watch this. This is from the National Geographic. They published this. Read that.
The government was evolving its policy and finding new ways to disconnect Indians from the land. Concurrent with the attack on tribal land, the government established a residential boarding school system for Indians that would profoundly impact the California tribes. Next page.
This is the government now. This is what they did. Read that.
In the late 19th century and continuing until World War II, Indian children were removed from their homes and placed in residential boarding schools run by the federal government.
They forced them out of their homes. Now watch this. Read.
The schools enforced harsh physical discipline for speaking of tribal languages.
They beat them like slaves.
Damn, read that again.
The schools enforced harsh physical discipline for the speaking of tribal languages.
Hey, don't that sound like what they did to Kuta Kinte?
Exactly.
Come on now, dog.
That's exactly what they did to Kuta, right? Same thing they did to Judah. They did the same thing to Judah. They beat that African language out of you. They beat that African name out of you and told you when a master give you some boy, you take it.
Bring it
and
out.
They beat them. Go ahead.
Think God is not going to hold you guilty for that?
The schools enforced harsh physical discipline for the speaking of tribal languages. And students spent half of the school day working.
Doing what?
Working.
You was a slave. Keep going.
Children were completely dislocated from their families and home communities. And many did not see home for 12 years.
So in 12 years, ask yourself how many Gadites died during this period. It wasn't just 9. This is years. Now watch this. Keep going.
Upon completion of schooling, racial barriers prevented many young Indians from finding jobs in mainstream America.
And you weren't going to get no job after all that. Watch this. Keep going.
Often they returned home, sometimes not recognizing their own parents or even speaking the same language.
Their parents didn't get a chance to father them, to mother them, to teach them anything. They came back and was like, who or what is this? They couldn't even recognize them. Keep going.
The residential boarding school system rent a giant tear in the social fabric of Indian life. Dang.
That's slavery right there.
That's like the crack epidemic.
That's exactly what it is. The crack epidemic. Read that last part again. The residential boarding school.
The residential boarding school system rent a giant tear.
A giant tear. Go ahead.
In the social fabric of Indian life.
When it says in the social fabric of Indian life, I want you to understand something. When you look at a blanket or a cloth or rag, clothing, it has fabric, right? That fabric is put together to make what you see now as a blanket or a cloth, a shirt, whatever. When it says, go back. When it says that the school, that's right there. The school system rent a giant tear in the social fabric of Indian life. What that means is that these boarding schools change the way the so-called Native Americans live today. When it says tear the social fabric of life, that means their whole life, everything they ever learned about life, everything they ever thought was life was torn from them, was torn, and they gave them a replacement. What do they call it?
Supplement.
A supplement. But it was false. It's like somebody taking It's like somebody taking your brand new Jordans, authentic, and replacing them with fake Jordans. Fake Jordan with, you know the Jordan they got with the belly?
Fat man
the
Jordans?
Fat man Jordans. But I mean, this thing's fake. But they look like Jordans, but they're fake. That's what's going on with the so-called Native American Indians. That's why we go to Deuteronomy 28. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and start at verse 29.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 29.
Get out.
And thou shalt grope at noondays,
Go ahead.
as the blind gropeth in darkness.
We groping at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. Why? Because what is embedded in our DNA about our life has been changed. Exactly. So we're fighting against what we know to be true. What we know to be true and what they given us as truth is battling each other. So it says we're groping at noonday. Read on.
And as the blind gropeth in darkness.
That's why we're groping. We're groping. We're reaching for something in the daytime, but to outsiders, it's like these Indians are savages. They don't know what they're doing. That's because we're blind. We've been blinded by what they've been giving us as the truth, but in our DNA, in our genealogy, in our spirit, we know something's missing.
Exactly.
The hell is this?
You know what you saying? Where like they collide?
Yeah, they collide together.
The white man calls that cognitive dissonance.
Hey, look that up. That's not a Negro word. Look that up. Cognitive what do you say?
Cognitive dissonance.
Dissonance?
Dissonance.
Look that up, man. This brother come with the big words. All praises.
I got on glasses.
Hey, I want glasses too, bro. Glasses don't mean nothing. You'd be a dummy with glasses on.
That's fair.
Go ahead.
We not though.
No. We ain't done. We far from done.
That's right.
We scholars up here.
That's right.
Bible scholars. You got it? Go ahead, pull it up, bro. Read that.
Cognitive dissonance, noun, psychology.
Hey, go to the Merriam. Oh, y'all know I love Merriam. Yeah, just scroll down and click on Merriam. It should be on the same Google page, right under the suggestions. Merriam. It is pretty nice. All you gotta do is go back. Just go back. Just watch this. Go back. Transfer. Scroll down. And right there. Oh, scroll down. Go down. Oh, damn. Merriam ain't no there? What Esau did to Merriam?
Well, it's a technical term, so you're going
to put at the end, put definition at the end of it. Yeah, just put definition. Yep, right there. And then Merriam should pop up, go down. No? What's wrong, man? Google tripping. Nah, yeah, just type in Merriam. Yeah, that's fine. You can do it on the screen. Go ahead. Space MER. Space MER. Right there. Boom. Is that the Merriam? Yep. Yep, that's it right there. Yep. All right, let's read that.
Cognitive dissonance, noun. Psychological conflict resulting from incongruous beliefs and attitudes held simultaneously.
Damn, go to the synonyms. Hey, those synonyms? Shit, you gotta explain that, bro.
It's exactly what you just said, Cap. So the thought process of understanding.
I gave the plain sense. Nehemiah 8:8 say, read from the law distinctly and give the sense of the reading. So go ahead, man. You gotta give the sense now, man.
So as Esau would explain it is, the tribe of Gad's understanding of how to live, our heritage, what we should eat, what we should wear, how we should be conducting ourselves, began after those 12 years of brainwashing in Esau's residential schools began to collide with the now understanding of what the world is, the white man's world, white supremacy. Right. So the white supremacy in our minds fights against the laws of God that we know we should be doing.
Okay, all praise. Hey, brother, you good. Brother, you good. Brother, you good. All praises. All praise. You should drop the ball for that, brother. That brother needs a hand clap. Get that brother a hand clap, y'all. Come on, Noah, where we at? Noah, get a brother a hand clap.
They hate me. They hate me because I abandoned them.
You did it better, bro. You just moved on to bigger heights, man. That's all it is, man. They'll be here soon, Lord's will. You know, Lord's will, the Lord send the growth, Lord send the laborers. All praise to the Most High. Hey, you know what I was thinking about? I don't know if you ever seen Westworld?
With the robots?
Yes. How eventually they start glitching real bad. They start glitching and realizing like, dang, these dudes is killing us. So what they do, every time they die, they reprogram their minds to make them forget.
Exactly.
But eventually they start remembering exactly what's going on. They're actually robots. Like, damn, y'all actually against us. So we're not going to lay down no more and let y'all kill us. Now we remember everything. We're going to kill y'all.
Can I pull a damn. Can I get the book of Hosea, chapter 5 and verse 15?
Bring it out.
You got me, Soldier Gadio?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Bring it out.
5 and verse 15?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The book of Hosea, chapter 5 and verse 15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early.
So that's us getting gunned down. That's us being afflicted by COVID-19. Us being in Indian boarding schools. Because it's still happening to this day, except they call it CPS.
Right. Right. Yep. They call it Child Protective Services, where they can come get your child for any accusation, not even something real.
Anything.
They just come for anything. They come get your child. And that's what's going on in these Native American reservations, but it don't make the news. These stuff don't make the news, man. What's going on, man? The murderings, the suicide, the rapings, the kidnappings, all this stuff is going on.
Kidnappings are heavy.
Yeah, big time.
And they got heroin addiction. Heroin and meth
drugs.
addiction is heavy, especially
liquor.
in Navajo Nation.
Yes, alcohol abuse. That's the big thing. And you know, they don't even have alcohol on reservations.
At all.
They don't have no alcohol. They go and get it and bring it to the reservation.
And it's evil how Esau it's evil how Esau and the nation set it up, because they put it right off the reservation.
Right. Soon as you leave, boom, liquor store.
It's a trap.
Yeah, go ahead. Go back to the video. We're gonna take a break after this. Go back to the video.
Missed out on learning from their own home and learning from their own families on things as simple as showing affection.
Her niece, Vesta Colomb, reflects on the pain the system caused her family.
Because of the way my grandmother was treated in these schools, it caused a lot of abuse between my mom and her siblings growing up, because my grandma was really never truly taught how to love somebody or to be loved.
Many Native Americans take pride that, despite the efforts, the system caused her family.
Because of the way my grandmother was treated in these schools, it caused a lot of abuse between my mom and her siblings growing up, because my grandma was really never truly taught how to love somebody or to be loved.
Damn, stop.
Many Native Americans.
That's heavy, man. They said, what you said, my grandmother? What you said? My grandmother wasn't taught?
Because she wasn't taught how to love, she doesn't understand how to love.
She don't know how to love. And when they say that, that means she don't know how to love herself. So that means she'll do all types of abominable acts because she don't even know how to love herself.
Because they were beating her. They're beating them all. Like as if what? They were slaves.
Yep.
Come on now, dog.
Rats and dogs.
It reminds me of right before camp yesterday. We was in the 7-Eleven getting ready. And this young woman, I think she was either Issachar, but she could have been Gad. The way she was talking, she called her little son a BAN.
Damn.
Because he threw some ice. Snatched him up.
They don't know how to love, man.
Like sea monsters.
There you go. A lot of our sisters and brothers out there in this world, out in sin, they are searching for ways to show brotherhood. Like we was talking to the brotherhood, unity, love. Our people want that stuff, but like we said earlier, what's that term? In what?
Cognitive dissonance.
It's a battle, man. It's a battle that they're having within themselves, that they know what is right to do, but they can't do it. Or it's a battle to do it because of what the white man has presented to them.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.